Today, we're going to see the 3 most competitive chem chefs make delicious and visually great cupcakes, while also looking at the chemistry behind those cupcakes. I'm Amanda Lepori, and this is the Battle of the Cupcakes. First, let's meet our contestants.
Hi, I'm Sergio and I own a bakery in New York and I'm gonna win!
Hi guys, my name's Caitlin and I own a quaint bakery in New Orleans and I can't wait to put my 2 C's to the test, cooking and chemistry.
Hello, my name is Ulysses Soto and I own a small private business located in Los Angeles, California, where I base cooking and chemistry together. I'm here to rack up a win and cash because I don't have any.
Round contestants, today you'll be making chem cakes and a video to show a chem class. You have 1 hour. Please do not embarrass the show. Hell begins right now.
Alright, so I have to get all my dry ingredients down, especially flour, because flour is the main component of the cupcake. Flour gives the cupcake its structure because the gluten from the cupcake, when exposed to water, becomes elastic and thick, giving the batter its flexibility. Oh God, I swear, if I used powdered sugar for this, I would honestly just quit, because I wouldn't even have a cupcake. No room for mistakes. If I make mistakes, I'm walking out of here.
Right now I'm adding the egg, which the egg is one of the most important parts of the cupcake. Here's a little chemistry for you. So eggs have proteins in them, and those proteins are important for the structure of the cupcake. So right now, when I'm beating these eggs, the proteins will start to break apart and get tangled up together in a large matrix. And this matrix acts like a net to hold the air bubbles. So when you heat the proteins, you hold an even stronger bond to hold the air bubbles even better. So we can have a delicious fluffy cupcake.
So this is why I got the smart. So listen up. Right now I'm gonna be adding the baking powder to the flour, and the baking powder should be the list on dry ingredients. The reason for this is that the baking powder is the reason the cake rises, because as it heats, the carbon dioxide from the baking powder will expand the cake, which is why you actually only fill up the cupcake liner about halfway. And also, measure out baking powder correctly, because too much will cause the carbon dioxide to go to the top and it will pop and it will start to flatten.
Okay, I have to hurry up. The sugar. Okay, right now I am adding sugar to my dry ingredients, because sugar is basically the flavor. It gives sweetness to the cupcakes. The reason for that is sugars contain amino acids that start the caramelization process once heated. So no sugar means ugh. So add sugar.
Now that I've finished adding my dry ingredients, I'm going to add my butter. The butter will coat the flour in the protein, which will in turn reduce the amount of gluten being formed. This will make the texture of my cupcake moist and tender. Oh, and by the way, did you know that butter is a solid because the molecules have no space to move as they are tightly impacted and there is constant motion, so they vibrate to show the motion because the intermolecular forces are really strong. And the same can be said for other solid ingredients, including sugar and flour. And don't do this.
I'm actually going to mix my wet and dry ingredients together, but I have to mix them in the right order. The reason being is because the dry ingredients are actually competing for water. So if you mix the dry ingredients in the wrong order, they won't have enough water, so you will end up with a clumpy batter. So hydration is completely important in creating a smooth batter. But you can't overmix, because when gluten aligns, the proteins in them align in strands. So if you keep on mixing, the strands will break and it won't hold your batter. So mixing is completely important.
The next ingredient I have with me is milk. Now milk is a liquid because the molecules flow over one another and take the shape of its container. Now it's good to put milk in your cupcakes because it makes your cupcake moist, as well as helps the baking powder release carbon dioxide.
About 30 minutes left. Put cupcakes in the oven to undergo the chemical reaction. I want some good cupcakes, and they better taste good too, because I haven't eaten all day.
30 minutes already?
30 minutes? Go!
Vlad's gotta put these cupcakes in the oven.
Now that the cupcakes are in the oven, they're going to start to rise and get fluffy. This is because there's a chemical reaction occurring. The chemical reaction in this case is endothermic because the cupcakes need to absorb heat to be able to rise and get fluffy. The catalyst in this case is the heat because the heat speeds up the baking process.
So as you can see in the oven, what is going on is that there is a chemical reaction taking place. And it is endothermic because there is heat energy being transferred to the system from the surroundings. The system is the matter or reaction that is being studied, so it is very specific. And the surrounding is everything else in the universe that interacts with the system. So in this case, as you can see, the system is my red velvet cupcakes. And the surroundings is everything in the oven, from the metal racks to the metal pan, anything really that is interacting with my cupcakes. There is about 20 minutes left in the timer, and I haven't started my frosting.
So here's some more smarts. In the oven right now, what is allowing the cupcakes to speed up the cooking process is a catalyst. So in a reaction, there are certain ways to have an effect on the rate. So by this, you're looking at a catalyst which speeds up the reaction without being used in the reaction. And it does so by lowering the activation energy that must overcome reactants in order for the reaction to occur, which will speed up the reaction. The catalyst in this case is the heat that the oven supplies in order to bake my beauties faster.
Even though I am hoping that my cupcakes will bake faster, I'm in good hands. Because even though the heat is the catalyst, it is used in a specific way. This specific way is called convection. This is when the hot air molecules are going through a mass movement, which transfers all throughout the oven, which also transfers all the heat to the cupcakes and evenly distributes it all over the cupcake, which will help my cupcake rise evenly.
So right now, I'm actually really hopeful that my cupcakes are going to bake faster because there's a process in here called conduction. Conduction is when heat is transferred through the direct contact of the collisions of molecules. So in here, there are hot air molecules that are actually colliding with the metal racks. And then those molecules that collided with the metal racks are now going to collide with my cupcake pan. And now the cupcake pan, those hotter molecules in there are going to collide with my actual cupcakes, which will cause them to bake faster. Oh, I need them to bake faster so I can get them on the metal rack so then they can cool down and I can put the frostings on them. Oh, 10 minutes.
Alright, what is going on with my cupcakes right now is a chemical reaction with the starch portion of the flour. It's actually starting to gel up, and with the help of the sugar, it should be creating a web that keeps the moisture in, which will also make my cupcakes moist and fluffy.
I can just imagine it, all the chemical reactions taking place. For example, the carbon dioxide from the baking powder will expand the cake, but not too much, because the gluten from the flour holds bubbles in place, while the fat of the butter is lubricating the process, making my beauties tender and moist. I'm telling you right now, my chocolate cupcakes are going to be the best.
Okay, so I accidentally forgot my glasses, which is why I thought there was 10 minutes on the clock, which I'm safe now. Okay, now looking at the cupcakes, I'm hoping the sugar is doing its job. Okay, so basically the sugar allows for this Maillard reaction to happen, which is when the proteins, which are the building blocks of matter, and sugars are heated up to create this chemical reaction that allows hundreds of chemical compounds to form, which then go on to provide food flavors. So the Maillard reaction provides for the brownness of my cupcakes and the taste, which is good.
Contestants, you better start checking on your cupcakes. You got 15 minutes. Make sure the chemical reaction is complete. And start frosting those cupcakes.
Is this like ready?
Cupcakes out of the oven right now.
Okay, my beauties, take as much time as you need. You just went through a rough chemical reaction.
Now that I've taken my cupcakes out, I want to make sure that I didn't take them out too early. Because when heating, the protein structure hardens, which keeps the bubbles in, which makes sure the cupcakes don't collapse. And it looks like mine are just fine.
My beauties are not cooling down. It is a good idea to always check on your cupcakes because at high heat, the starches and other chemicals are already reacting with the oxygen and to produce carbon dioxide. But if the cupcakes are left longer, they will produce oxides that are the blackened bits on the burnt cupcake.
So getting the cupcakes out of the oven is such a relief, but I need to let the cupcakes cool down faster. So I can actually just take these bad boys out because they cool faster than the pan itself. The reason being specific heat. So specific heat is the energy required to change 1 gram of a substance by 1 degree Celsius. So higher specific heats in the oven take longer to heat up, but will retain their energy the longest. And lower specific heats take less time to heat up, but will lose their energy quicker. In this case, I'm using a stainless steel pan, which has a specific heat of 0.488 joules per grams degree Celsius, which is the low specific heat. So in the oven, this guy right here actually took less time to heat up, but is actually losing its heat faster. But I need the cupcakes to cool down faster, so I need to take these bad boys to the fridge to let them cool down. Quick tip, do not leave the cupcakes in the fridge too long because lower temperatures actually causes these cupcakes to go stale. So rely on sugar and higher fat content to keep your cupcake moist the longest.
2 minutes remaining. Three, two, one. Stop what you're doing and bring over your products.
Today I made the most delicious chocolate cupcake ever with the topping of fudge frosting.
Third pair of glasses. Drop the other ones in the batter. Oh, by the way, today I've baked for you a red velvet cupcake with cream cheese frosting.
I have made a vanilla Bella Bean cupcake with buttercream frosting.
By the judge, but I love to eat. So my favorite is definitely the red velvet one. So the winner of the Battle of the Chemcakes is Ulysses.
Ow, I know mine are the best.
Oh well, at least I had fun.
And open up my business officially.